Yo, Buffalo City Municipality. You know, when we're going to conference, they're going to fight for branches. We know that I have ward 8, I have ward 21, I have this ward. So everyone is lobbying and they are trying to get themselves votes for this particular conference. They want to emerge. Each of them wants to emerge. But I hear that Princess Faku is underneath. That is the story of politics of today in the Buffalo City Municipality. The infighting between Princess and Antonio, because they've now taken it to the public. They've taken it to social media. We can see them fighting on Facebook. In that region, if I hear that if Princess is hosting like a June 16, Princess is going to host a June 16 up at Tukasha Stadium, and Antonio will host his own June 16 there. There's no unit. I'm telling you that battle lines have been drawn. They've just been drawn. Do you remember? This is what is currently happening. Do you remember that road, that Kunera Road in Konobi in East London, that road that the Premier of the Eastern Cape just approved? I think he committed 45 million, and the Minister of, the MEC of Transport also committed about 35. So there's 100 million rand contract that is at stake, that is being given to the community at that Kunera, at that Kunobe in East London. And what is happening? Now, the people on the ground, they're fighting. They're fighting because it's factions. It's factions. Let me just call it what it is. It's factions. The faction of Princess Faku is kind of underneath, because that councillor is not wanted by the people. The councillor is not wanted by the people. And Princess wants to make sure that her interests there at that project. Do you understand? That is how things go at local level. The two have been mobilizing their numbers. They're reviving the branches. And already one knows who has which ward fixed. Now, the government has done an honorable thing. Premier Oscar Mabuyane has done an honorable thing. MEC Ngate has done an honorable thing. They have given, they've allocated a budget of about 100 million for that particular tender. People are now fighting in East London, in Konobi. They are fighting. People are fighting. People have been fighting, right? For the road that is supposed to be fixed. They're supposed to put a tar on that road. The Premier and the MEC for Transport have committed money that is, it's close to 100 million rand for this project. Now, here's the problem. The community does not want this certain individual. There's this certain individual that is not wanted by the community. It's a ward council. The community does not want this certain councillor. They accuse him of corruption, and they're saying they want nothing to do with him. And I'm going to break this down. I'm going to break this down to you. Let's just break it down. This show is Unpack with Lou. Now, let's say this particular project, it's 100 million. It's about 7 kilometers. Can I say 7? Let's just say roughly it's 10 kilometers. So for this 10 kilometers, it starts from Ward 27. It starts from Ward 28 going to Ward 27. So, right? But at Ward 27, the ward that has a smaller Nyana portion is fighting. How are they fighting? They're fighting amongst themselves. Just now, just this weekend, just not so long ago, there was fighting. When I say fighting, I mean literal fighting. They are fighting like literally. I mean, the councillor that the community does not want is currently in prison because he beat someone up. He beat the community up. I'm not making this up. The councillor, an entire councillor of Ward 27, beat somebody up, as in Wamnwinda. Now that they're fighting each other, the councillor is beating people up of the community. The councillor is beating people up of the community. They obviously reported each other to the police, like there's a case opened against the councillor. Now the councillor got arrested. The councillor, an entire councillor who beat up a community member, he's arrested. Now, between me and you, and the ANC has a rule. It's called step aside rule. If you have a criminal record or you have charges against you, they're going to enforce a step aside rule. Does this mean that there's going to be by-elections at Ward 27 in East London, Buffalo City? If there's going to be by-elections, I wonder who's going to be, because in these factions, there's Princess and there's Antonio. I wonder who's going to be underneath and who is going to emerge on this particular dilemma. Buffalo City Municipality has been headlining a lot. Princess Faku seems to be firing everyone. Anyone that is on her way, she's firing the rest of you. If you are on the way of Princess Faku, the mayor of Buffalo City Metro, she's going to fire you. We're going to break down the suspension of the former general manager. Can I say the former because she's suspended? There's a general manager by the name of Mr. Gweta, who's been suspended by Princess Faku. Very, very interesting story. There is a headline at Daily Dispatch that's been covering this. Now, when did this start? When did this beef between Princess and Gweta start? The fight. So I'm reliably told by I'm reliably told by the newspapers. This is not coming out of my head. I'm reliably told that the beef between Princess Faku and Gweta has been going on for a while. So there's this one day that Princess was having you know those municipal meetings where there's senior managers, there's everyone at the municipality, as in all the staff members are there. There's an event of the municipality, and guess what happened? Princess Faku took a jab at this general manager, which is Gweta. That's when people first started noticing in Dokbana, man, this is a jab at Gweta. Okay, let me start at the jab. It was a normal event where, the mayor is going to have to speak, and Princess said something that is very interesting. Actually, let's listen to the actual. Let's listen to the audio. Let me take you through to what Princess said at that event where everybody was there. Everybody was listening. And this is what Princess Faku had to say in front of Pamgoban. In front of Pamgoban, there was everyone. There was all the staff members of the Buffalo City Metro. And I want you to help me. Just listen to this. Give me a sec. Listen to this.
Siyabulela kakhulu kwayara nisiculele kamandi kakhulu. Uma mudoma ngatsho bana ngisho kume enhlizweni xa ngicula ehlobo. I am so grateful to be here today, especially to listen to that choir. I think that my spirit is so revived as a woman.
Now that is Princess doing her speech.
I remember when I was the deputy mayor, I called one of the officials in the municipality because there was a crisis of water in one of the areas. And the way he responded to me, it's a general manager of a department. When I even explained myself,
the mayor is taking a jab at the general manager. Uyamva? Mamela. Lo ebelapha enxibibotyo. That means the one that was just here wearing a hat.
please speak to Mr. Gweta. speak to him. We need to be efficient, economic, effective, and use of resources must be promoted. So meaning that we are expecting of you to be efficient. Abantu bethu xa besiza kuni, please Cebadu, you know when I say that kumdaka apha kwi-expressway, bottles must be collected there, I mean that it must be done now. How you do it,
Aha!
expect us to do
Yeah, vibe was late.
There's not even a broom for me to sweep. Good day, colleagues. All protocols observed.
I think now that's Gweta responding or giving her
I'm sorry for wearing a hat. It's just that I'm on antibiotics, really.
So Gweta was attacked. The first jab was Gweta got attacked by Princess during in front of Pamgwabandu, during the event, during the, everyone. And Princess says, Loibe Laping Mibotyo, the one who was wearing a hat here. I called him the other day and you heard for yourself. So that is where the beef actually started. Now it escalates. It goes on and on and on, ending up to Princess to Gweta being suspended for what is that English? Insubordination. Princess Maya seems to blame officials for the mess that is happening at Buffalo City. Let's face it, Buffalo City imdaka. Buffalo City is very dirty. We don't go back to East London because it's messy. It's messy. It's not safe. It is dirty. It is giving Hillbrow, if you ask me. So she seems to be claiming that they are being sabotaged by officials. Is she maybe trying to blame Gweta, who is the general manager? I'm getting somewhere. I'm building up to something. I'm sure we can all agree that that was a jab. What you just heard, it was a jab at someone. Now, we saw the articles that has been, we saw the headline that Gweta has been suspended for insubordination. You know, insubordination, what is that? What is insubordination in plain English? How can you explain insubordination? I want first to look at the bosses. Let's break down who is who in the zoo at Buffalo City. Right? Let's just break down who is who in the zoo. There is the boss lady, Princess. There is an HOD who was hired. It's very questionable, the hiring, by the way, of this lady. This lady was hired to be the boss to Gweta, and this lady was used to suspend Gweta. This lady is, allegedly, I'm going to have to use allegedly. The lady is Nondi, that's her surname. She is reportedly the best friend of the mayor, and she's the one who suspended Gweta for insubordination. If you can understand, it's impossible for the mayor herself at a political office to fire or to suspend an official. So she's going to use someone. She quickly hired someone to remove that threat. Is it insubordination, or is it that Princess just doesn't like this manager? Or maybe she's even incompetent? I mean, it looks like Princess is removing everyone. If you ask me, ask yourself right now as we speak, where is Butsem? Where is the spokesperson of Buffalo City Metro? Where is the spokesperson of Buffalo City Metro? Sam has been the greatest thing that has ever happened to that municipality. For years and years, during the former mayor, Sam Ngwenya, Samkelo Ngwenya has been the greatest thing to happen at that municipality. I've been told that Sam has been, stay at home, we don't trust you, stay at home. As we speak between me and you, the Buffalo City Metro has no spokesperson. But Bongani, the gentleman at mayor's office is now being used to speak for the entire mayor, for the entire metro. I would love to hear from Gweta. I would really love to hear from Ukweta. What has transpired? What is it that really happened? What is really happening at that Buffalo City municipality? It's exhausting. Everybody's complaining. The rates of Buffalo City, they're skyrocketing. They're giving like abantu bapa. How do you live, Mdanza? You're living in a township. You're paying your rates zoma 3,000 rand at Buffalo City. But where is the service delivery? Where is the service delivery? Now, let's get to the interesting part of this particular episode, the Scopa. Yo, Aisaband. It is so cold. But I'm doing it for aesthetics. Thank you so much. Now, Scopa is a committee that comes from Parliament, ePali. It is headed by Mr. Songezo Zibi. They came all the way from Parliament. We saw the oversight visit by the parliamentarians that came to Buffalo City Municipality. They picked up a lot of irregularities. But what took the cab for me is that an employee, guys, you're not going to believe this, an employee, as in a municipal employee was wearing Louis, I'm not going to say the brand, but his entire outfit was costing 200,000 rand. Excuse me? A municipal employee wearing a 2,000 rand, 200,000 rand. The shoe was like 50-something thousand. The belt, the outfit was worth around 200,000 rand. Like, seriously, where does he take? Where is all this money coming from between me and you? 200,000 rand for a municipal worker, a general manager at Buffalo City Municipality. Balance me here very quickly. The guy is reportedly driving a Q8, an Audi Q8. Excuse me? A what? An Audi Q8. He drives, listen here. Listen to me very carefully. He drives an Audi Q8. He has a GL63. Hello? The guy has a Q5. The guy has a Viano, a FN car. Poor forget the guy is earning around 70,000. Between me and you, that money might like 70,000 might look large to us, but he has a lifestyle. How much is a Q8 installment? How much is a V-Class installment? How much is a GL, a Mercedes GL in real life? For a guy that is earning a 70,000 rand, I'm told that he's earning less than 2 million rand per year, according to the municipal reports. He has many houses. He has houses in the village, about 3 of them. He builds mansions. He's got student accommodation that he built at a one go. Can you believe it? A municipal worker that earns a 70,000. He can wake up and just build a property at a go. Is that even possible between me and you? Listen, I'm hearing that the money, let me see proper, the money is coming from kickbacks. The money is coming from kickbacks. Jonga, this is how it happens. Let's say there is a road that is like 5 million rand. No. Let's say there is a road that is 15 million rand. Ne? This road is going to cost the municipality 15 million rand, and they say it's 10 kilometers, right? The road is 10 kilometers. It's going to cost the municipality about 15 million rand. What they do is speak with the contractor and say, my leadership, we are giving you this order of 15 million rand, but what you're going to do, Jengbana, it's supposed to be, say, 10 kilometers. What you can do for us, just do 6 kilometers and give us that 5. Give us that 5M. Guys, is this how they're eating money in real life? Is this how they're eating money in real life? Between me and you. So I'm hearing that they take 20%. It sounds like it's a standard figure, this 20% thing, that they take about 20% of the value your contract. It goes to the municipal employees. Now, it doesn't just go to this guy. It goes to, this guy is obviously the ring leader, right? But of course, he needs to silence the others. He needs to qhaqezela obani and uzibabiza amagama, right? I also heard, between me and you, I also heard that there is a chisanyama that is used to launder money. This money, there is a chisanyama that is being used here. And it was yapaqwa by one of the owner of that chisanyama. She went to deposit 300,000 rand cash eButterworth. Isogqiba uthi, no, I'm a business person. I have a shibin, waqala waflekwa. So Hawks are onto them. They are onto them. But how long? I mean, this is now normalized. This is now normal. I mean, when somebody's doing something and they keep doing this wrong thing and they convince themselves in their head that this is normal. To have so much money, to have such luxurious life in the salary that you have, in the name of you've got a business that you use to wash the money. Guys, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what is happening. But what I know is that the guy is being investigated and he is headlining on that Scopa parliamentary visit. Scopa wants answers. Let's take a look at the clip where Songezo Zibi, the chairperson of this particular committee, wants to know exactly what is going on with that municipality.
Chairperson of Scopa, Honorable Zibi, to the honorable members of the Portfolio Committee of Scopa that are present here today, good morning, honorable members. Honorable Chairperson, it's indeed a great honor on behalf of Buffalo City Metropolitan Municipality to welcome you in Buffalo City. The Metro is a key urban center for the Eastern Cape province. It consists of the urban areas stretching from the port of East London, which is our pride as this city. We've worked hard with Transnet. For the first time, there's a lot of investment that is happening in the East London port, where Transnet has invested in the deepening of the East London port. We have received a lot of investment. There's going to be a lot going on in the beachfront, working together with Transnet. This is part of the economy of East London not growing. It's because of our port, because it's a river port, and the way that it was structured, that it can't take big boats inside the city. So our aim as Buffalo City was to make sure that the East London port is one of our key areas of focus. So Transnet is currently investing in that. Also, we have Mtanzane, we have Timbaza. Timbaza is in the King Williamstown area, chairperson. We want to expand towards King Williamstown in terms of our economic growth. IDZ, which Buffalo City is a major stakeholder in IDZ, one of the best performing industrial zone in South Africa, which benefits maybe about 20% from government. We're a key shareholder in that. We're expanding that now to Ndabozugo, which is called King Williamstown. Chairperson, we must say that as Buffalo City, we welcome and will cooperate with any law enforcement agencies, as we have done ever since we took over as this administration. I'm talking about your special investigation, your Hawks, any law in this, the public protector. I don't know, I was called by the chairperson of chairs in our provincial legislature when the Human Rights Commission visited them. They are very proud of how Buffalo City we interact with them, with the Human Rights Commission, in dealing with issues where there are challenges. We are open to discuss those challenges with these state entities, institutions. Our key focus for the next financial year is to prioritize in key infrastructure projects. And some of these key infrastructure projects are some of those that were visited that have been not attended to. We had the Baby Crescent, which when we took over was revamped by ourselves, making sure all these projects that had any delay, there's a quick response in us, making sure these projects are working. We're looking into our infrastructure audit, our integrated transport planning, as you have alluded. The Department of Transport is working with us in terms of our special planning. If you can go to Mdantsane, you will see the integrated transport plan that is already happening in Mdantsane, which is water, electricity, light, sanitation, and all of these things as Buffalo City. So we have to look into that. So you have BCMDA that also have the stoop that has been there, not completed. So these are part of the projects when we came in to fix them. BCMDA, Water World, part of it that is Buffalo City. Hence we had to look at different options because you had that and that and that, and you must try and fix what was done wrong, which we acknowledge. But we don't want the people of South Africa to think there was no effort to fix some of these issues. We've been going up and down, asking ministers to help us on the issue of the Water World, looking for funding for it. We've written to the Minister of Water and Sanitation about the Nawoon spillage, about the wastewater treatment.
The SIU is tasked, and please correct me if I'm wrong, sir. The SIU is tasked with doing civil recoveries from service providers. The Metro has decided to pursue recoveries from employees, not the service providers. It's avoiding having to make a claim to the service providers. The way it works is this. The city disciplines employees, the SIU pursues service providers. That's how it's supposed to work. And that is not how it's working. I don't know how we move on from here, colleagues. What is emerging is disturbing and unhelpful to our work here. So can anyone tell me what these gaps were? Can you tell the members, what were these gaps in the MPEX report? Because if nobody knows, then the case is closed.
Fruitless and wasteful expenditure of 49 million is that it's irrecoverable. Contrary to what the CEO was saying, that fruitless and wasteful is easy. This one is not easy according to the reports, but it is easy because the people that are incurring the cost are seated here by ignoring the site and allow the bushes to grow in it. Then the MPEG is going to go back and not find who's responsible. We still don't have an answer as to how are we going to recover the 49 million. It can't just be written off.
There was a question that I posed to the CEO regarding the 5 payment certificates. And you unfortunately or politely maybe just forgot about it. You know which one I'm talking of. It's on the slide 15 of the AG's report regarding the Maratsane swimming pool. Because it says here, I'll just jerk your memory, make it easier with your permission, quickly, Chair. It says there were 5 different copies of payment certificate number 12. I'll repeat that. There were 5 different copies of payment certificate number 12 on file, each with a different value to be paid. Okay? So it could not be determined if the payment certificate was processed and paid. This is what the AG is saying. So the management's response, city manager, mayor, the management's response to this, that the error is noted. There it is there. It's not something that I'm saying. I'm reading it to you verbatim. Please express yourself, and if you're not able to quantify, you can look to your left or to your right. Somebody will help you out. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. You can deal with that quickly. Are you able to?
I'm not in a position to deal with that, but before I came to the session, I did extract all the payments on Excel for what went through the ledger. I have that with me. but I had no sight of those payment certificates that went through, maybe during the period that I wasn't here. I'm not finding that an excuse, but what I did was I did download all the payments that went through the ledger account. I have that in front of me. I can maybe share that with you.
Sorry, Chair. Yeah, so somehow or the other we need to quantify this statement of these payment certificates. So either we're going to get a report on this matter, or you're going to respond to the AG. I don't know, Chairperson, you should guide here which way we're going to go with this.
No, we need a response.
Yeah, well, from finance, we can pull the payment certificate. The payment certificate would be in our files at creditors. We can pull those certificates and the payments that were made towards that, so you need to swimming pool. We can do that, and then furnish you all with that information.
All right. So what Honorable Isaac here is saying is very important in the context of council's unwillingness to discuss the reports of MPEG on the same matters.
So I believe that obviously on the questions that cannot be answered, we can then formulate our own opinion. Because I think the session is to get clarity. So where the clarity is not forthcoming, then the rest is on us. We can't be held at ransom by the lack thereof.
Sure.
So, but there are questions that remain unanswered. I was firstly going to propose that the follow-up questions, we can put them in writing so that we can get written responses before we finalize our opinion on the matter. But there are still questions themselves which remain unanswered. And there's quite a number of them. I don't know if members have noted them or should we start afresh. I spoke about whether the city is considering having its own metropolis because of the high levels of vandalism. I spoke about the dysfunctionality of Sconville plant, for example, and other plants that are supposed to be diverted if they are fully functional. It's quite a number of questions that have not been touched. So the issue of whether at Ebuhlanti these other components will go on tender, forget that 6 million has went to 12 on the roads infrastructure, but all these other components leading to 70, will they go on individual tender, or is just going to be an extension of the existing contract as we have seen being a practice? So those are some of the few that I can remember for now. If members can just answer all the questions fully, and then we can, if the proposal to put in writing follow-ups could be entertained. Thank you, Chair.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. I just want to go back to the issue of the MPEG report, because the MPEG report, whether it's having gaps or what, but it is their report. So it must be tabled and discussed.
I'm not sure SIU is here. Maybe they should explain.
No. I accepted your colleague's explanation, and I thanked him for it.
Okay. Thank you. City Manager will come in. Just on the swimming pool as well, I think, Chair, because the HOD, Mr. Squezer, is not here because he's bereaved. If there are any other outstanding question that the Honourable Member has asked with regards to the 4 invoices, where more clarity is requested from us, we'll give a written response to your office, Chairperson. Thanks.
All right, my name is Butlu Ndingunolali Wegunai. I think you're gonna give some feedback on the comments, how we can improve delivery of this particular segment. Until next time, okay, fine. Ingabi namsebenzi.